What's up, everybody? This is Hush, aka How You Stop Him, aka Voice of Reason, aka Unstoppable Hush, aka No Noise. And this is Tell It How It Is, No Filter, episode 149. Happy New Year. Did you miss me? I actually didn't give you one more to end 2021. So the last one you did see wasn't the plan to end things off for 2021. But I had to take time off for a second. I'm back though, and now we're 2022 with it. What's going on? I'm COVID free, although it appears that I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm COVID free. That's a blessing. Start off with a big rest in peace to Betty White. Man, that's a loss. I mean, it hits me a little bit more because my grandmother raised me and she passed at the same age. So, you know, the positive thing to say is that that's a blessing to make 99 because you see what's going on out here. COVID is like just a little bit, it's a lot of the story, but people are going in other ways, but you know a lot of it is charged to COVID. Anyway, not even to get into that. I'm just saying, you know, 99 years is definitely a blessing. It's still sad at the same time, but to live a full life, that you definitely got your money's worth with that type of number. To me, you know, if I make 99, God willing, I think I got my money's worth. You know, I want more than that. Don't get it twisted, and we all do. But we cannot complain, and I don't want the loved ones around me to kick and piss and moan because 99 is a lot. Like, you know, you got a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, rest in peace, Betty White. I actually tuned into an episode of Golden Girls on purpose just to, like, reminisce for a sec with her. Dope. You know what I'm saying? So, sleep in peace till we see you on the other side, I guess. I don't want to really start the year off with heavy sports like that. I'll make my few mentions. Chicago Bulls are currently in first place, 24-10 when I last checked, and that is big. I mean, I think they've done that before post the Jordan era, but not enough to have it memorized. You know what I'm saying? Not often, not a lot. I think when Derrick Rose first got there, they might have touched first place. I gotta research that for you. But either way, as we begin 2022, Chicago Bulls are first in the East. The Warriors and the Suns are still looking great. I'm gonna leave that alone. NFL. The last 2 weeks have been a little dicey for me. You know, my predictions haven't gone well. The biggest attention right now would be Antonio Brown. Mid-game, I guess, roughly round second quarter, nearing halftime. He strips himself of his jersey, his shoulder pads and whatnot, and exits the field. Was this just a stunt or what? I don't know what's going on in that man's head. You know, they pay attention to Odell with the moves he make, but Antonio Brown is another one. They call him, you know, he's a little loose cannon with it, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it's salary-wise or whatever happened, he definitely left during the game, and it's been stated that he's no longer a Buck. So the timing is crazy for me. You know, whatever reasons you have, but to be this close to playoffs, I know Tom Brady's trying to repeat. I mean, Gronk's going to help him a lot. But that would have been a nice punch, too, to have. But it is what it is. Will this be it? Will we not see Brown anymore? I don't know. He's still pretty skilled. He still has it, so he's not washed. So I don't know if time just going to heal all wounds and then he'll go somewhere else. We shall see. Alrighty. He put out a song. I mean, I think I knew about his little music career endeavors. Like, he got a couple songs or whatever. I'm not really vouching or co-signing for that. But there is a joint that he's released since that scene on the field called Pit Not the Palace. I thought it was alright. I'm not sitting here telling you it's a banger. It's on the billboards and no shit like that. But I thought it was alright, you know, production and all that. So, you know, if you want to check that out, if you're an Antonio Brown fan, you know, they still say the best lyricist in sports is Damian Lillard. I don't know if I agree. I don't know if I disagree, but I'm going to give him his flowers. Big Dame, no doubt. Of course, Uncle Murda did his wrap up for 2021. Do I sound like a hater? If I don't want to say I'm tired of the wrap ups. Do we judge each one like fairly, or is it really based on the year? So based on the year, he did his due, of course. I guess because of how bad the year was, a lot of deaths mentioned in the song, famous people or not. It wasn't really a uplifting year. So it was less entertaining compared to the other wrap-ups. But nonetheless, he still pointed out some good points. Some was entertaining enough. I don't know how I feel if I want another one after that. But he's claiming that was the last one anyway. So this Freddie Gibbs, which I think he's nice. I don't have his catalog like that. What I did hear, I think he's nice. Clearly there was an issue between him and Jim Jones. I don't know the full story behind that. There was a fight, altercation. Alleged Jim Jones peoples jumped him or whatever. So now that's something that Uncle Murda threw in the song. So Freddie Gibbs has responded, throwing smoke. Didn't realize he was from Cary, Indiana. So him in New York got an issue right now. Maybe just on the rap scene. Don't know, you know, I don't want it to really get violent like that. I'm not promoting it. But, you know, they have some fire. Jim Jones, you know, do little shots back as well. You know, if something go down and Uncle Murda does a wrap up, you're going in there. So you shouldn't be too pressed. I don't really got nothing else controversial wise. The wrap up. You know, my memory is crazy, right? I always have 1,000 thoughts, but now when it's time to talk to you people, just the most important ones come to mind. You know what I mean? And some things get X'd out. Once again, it's a new year. I can say that try to put your best foot forward. Hopefully we make a change. Hopefully it's a difference. You know, this COVID thing, I hate to keep mentioning it. I don't know how long it's going to be. You know, it might be for the rest of our lives. You know what I mean? Sad to say, but you just got to still be careful, still mask up. I don't know about promoting the vaccine. I never really did, but you know, it seems to me like it doesn't really matter. I'm sorry. It can't finalize your safety. It can't finalize your health, should I say. It may help for some. It may be doing mentally, some may think doing that made the difference. Do you feel healthier? You still gotta use the same precautions regardless, right? That's that. But do what you feel. I'ma just get right into it then, because I think that's all the current events I want to actually tap on. I didn't want to go too heavy into sports, like I said. Independence in your relationship. You understand what that means? I'm not pointing out a specific one. You don't have to be married. Could be boyfriend, girlfriend. Could be fiance. Could be marriage. Free time. Time apart is not a bad thing. It doesn't matter how wrapped up y'all are, how in love, how real a relationship is. It needs independence on both parties. I don't want to be like throwing jabs, like, and just shouting out the insecure, which is really like the bulk of an issue that could happen in a relationship if both parties are guilty, free, innocent of anything that they're not supposed to be doing. There's just some people who are insecure or controlling or narcissists that, excuse me, like I said, I'm a little under the weather, but I'm doing my job here. Anyway, that could create problems that didn't even need to be a problem. So maybe I'm talking more to you people. Cell phones. I'm not going to get into should you go into your partner's phone, should they go in yours. Your phone is a bit of independence, right? What you make, earn for a living, that can be debatable. You can be strict on that's my funds. If you don't live together, I get that. There's a difference is when you live together versus not. So y'all can iron that out however y'all feel. But that's a sign of independence. So the phone, your finances, when you're away from your partner, working, hanging out, you always need that hangout. Women with the ladies, guys with your fellas. However, whatever time that's entertaining for you, that's outside of the relationship, is still needed, no matter how good the relationship is going. We don't want to saturate. Space is good. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Now, if y'all got shit to handle, these bills and all that, where you really can't get away like that right now because there's a bigger goal and y'all trying to get shit together, I get that. You can't really turn up. You still can have the independence, though. Examples, phone, when you at work, traveling to and fro. It's also a good test to measure how real y'all got it. Like, what do y'all really have? You have something tight, you have something solid, then nothing can really affect it if everything's on the up and up. So this independence is a good thing. That under everybody, under each other all day, every day, can get tiring. In the beginning, I'm warning you though, in the beginning of relationships, that sounds far-fetched. Because that's what? The golden months, whatever the first few months to a year is, where everything is freaking dope and you're like, oh my God, this is the best. You hope that energy lasts. And the work you put in, you probably could make it last. But let's be real. You still need some independence. That, on the phone every day, 8, 10 hours. I'm not hating on that. I'm not saying that's not healthy. I'm not saying that don't do that. I'm saying that your beginning stages when you getting to know your partner should level out after a while. There's a lot of talk, a lot of energy. You telling your story, they telling theirs. Before y'all get this thing on the roll. After that, it kind of smooths out, right? You don't want to start to have the same conversations, repeating yourself. So keep some space. Still do things you do that you enjoy. Now, the whole thing about a partnership is, yes, you can have hobbies, stuff you do in your leisure that you can introduce to your partner to include them. But if you're as ambitious as me, you have more than one of those. You have many hobbies, you have many talents, you have many interests. You can still have the ones you do by yourself or with your friends. You can still have that. And then have the ones where you include your partner. But this is all for the best. trying to preserve the relationship, give it air, give it space, so you don't suffocate or saturate. That's what you want to avoid. Because no matter how good, how strong, or if y'all need work, y'all still need space sometimes. Pay attention, communication, all those rules still apply. But the space adds a little cherry on top. Gotta have something to miss. You know what I mean? For people who are partners that work together, you looking at me crazy. That space is a little bit harder, huh? Unless you have a lot of leisure. You still gonna include your partner, but you definitely gotta make something separate. Cause that working together, that's a toll. I'm not saying it can't work. It's a toll. Unless it's a huge corporation where y'all not in each other's face and y'all can actually avoid each other at work. Or if y'all work different times. That would be advisable if you ask me. I'm not saying you can't make it work. Life is so short today that happiness is all that matters. So if you obtain that and you can handle the cards that's dealt with your happiness, then you do that to the best of your ability. It's not for me to tell you how to move. There's favorable situations that some people may not want to place themselves in. But there's catches all around. Working together. Kids that's not yours. Finance issues. There's so many things. So it's like no perfect world. So like get your mind off of the perfect world. It's not there. But if you can just be mindful of things and situations and how you should maneuver, you can make this A1. So respect space. Give it as much as you want to have it. You know? And even if it take you a little while to get into your swag about, you know, your little independence or whatever, if your partner jumps right to it, you know, if they're just into it anyway, let them rock. Don't be bitter or rain on their parade because they have things they can do without you and you still trying to figure it out. That's not going to work. And that probably could be the situation at first. One person is going to have stuff to do more than the other. You know, it's dope if they both have a very ambitious mind and there's multiple shit they want to get into. That's dope. Then that kind of falls in line right away. But that may not be the case. Still have patience. Keep your security in check. Trust. And fellas, it looks worse on us. You know what I mean? So like this whole independence thing, if you try to limit your partner, you know, you wear the pants. You're supposed to be a little tougher than that than to, you know, have complaints or restrictions. You know? And I'm not enabling anything. So like if you really want to take this and use this as a way to do things that your partner would rather not like to know, you're going to do whatever. Excuse me. You're going to do whatever regardless. But that's not why I'm here. To promote that. But people going to do whatever anyway, right? So, only positively speaking, I want you to really take a second to reflect on this and see how it helps your partnership. Because, what's the two words? Suffocating and saturated. Trying to avoid. Especially if you have big plans and y'all trying to spend the rest of your lives together. Definitely want to get things squared sooner than later. Trying to avoid you from this happening through how can I say, forced, or because y'all tired of each other. Nobody likes to hear, oh, we need a break or we need space. You know, that is kind of demoralizing, especially in these days with life being so short. We're not trying to waste time. So the take a break, back it up, space, those are not the vocabulary that's preferred in any partnership relationship. So that's another angle and reason why I'm coming to you to try to just establish this independence immediately, sooner than later, so it doesn't get to that. Not saying that it will, but if you can avoid something that you see down the, who's going to see a hole in the road and stay in that lane till they get to the hole? If I see a hole a half a mile down the road, which is some great vision, by the way, I'm going to change lanes prior. So if you can dodge something before you right up on it, why not? And that's the whole thing about life and, you know, preserving life and possibly living longer and reducing stress and, you know what I'm saying, and health issues. Because a lot of that is mental, a lot of it is stress for real. So if we can find techniques that, you know, can counter that, why not? So I'm only advising accordingly because I think it's a good strategy to have, you know. I know some couples want to be all about on top of each, give a little bit of space. I'm not even trying to control the time. An hour a day, 2 hours a day. I mean, outside of work, y'all supposed to be working, right? So that's going to be, you know, some people may go, that's enough. But tell the truth, while we're at work, do we have interaction with our partners? I'm sure of it. Most definitely. At some point. Some is less than others. Some is on the dime. You know, women, no offense. If the type of day they have it, they might be hitting their partner up to, texting this bitch. Excuse my French. But, you know, whatever. So that's not independence. That's not time apart, really. There's nothing wrong with that, but just be mindful you have to find another way. So that just going to work and y'all still communicate throughout the time you're at work, you didn't have a free moment, really. So now, do you hang out after work? Whatever suits you, man. It don't have to go that way, but, you know, again, select something, you know, a day off. You know, most people get 2 days off a week, right? So that's 8 days a month. You pick 2 of those days maybe to go kick it with your peoples. Just as a fraction, it could be more. You know, if your partner has the same ambitions, has the same type of motivational energy, you can make that 3 or 4 because they'll be going somewhere too. The thing is, whoever it is, whoever hangs out more shouldn't really get negative energy from the one who's not hanging out because you can choose to do something with the time. And I say that because it's been brought to my attention on a couple occasions that you might have some guys that have homeboys, numbers 4, 5 plus. Your lady may not have 4, 5 plus friends. Your lady friends may not live where you at. Damn. So what happens in that scenario? You want them to be understanding and let you still rock, fellas. So be understanding. See what they can do. They probably not going to want new friends. Women are selective. You know, whoever's their homies, that's it. If they even have homies. It might be a homie. But vice versa that are around, don't start digging deep negatively if you, fellas, find that you have less friends, maybe 1 or 2, and your lady got like 5 or 6. So now she's out, rolling. Even if you know some of the friends a little thotty, we're not going to get into that. We'll break that down in another segment. The friends that you keep, you still supposed to be able to control your actions in my eyes. Not everybody's going to agree to that. So the same way your lady could have friends that are a little loosey-goosey and are not in the best behaviors all the time when they hang, you got, fellas, we got the homies that's single, that could do them, that always do them, even if they ain't. It's what you do. It's what you decide to do. If you go on this whole meet new friends thing, then yeah, maybe you can be more selective at who you befriend on the new tip. If this is 2022 and you want some new friends, the type of friends you should incorporate, that's different. But the people you grew up with or whether you want to vouch for, even if you ain't grew up with them and you just knew them in the last 5 years, it's all about your actions. You can't control the next person, and the next person shouldn't be able to control your moves and decisions. So all of that makes it a little thicker when you sit down and discuss, okay, I'm going to hang with such and such, especially if you did the breakdown of all of these people. Which I'm not saying you shouldn't, but some may say limit it. Like, you know, if your main right hand is a hoe, do you just keep it a stack and say, yo, my right hand's a hoe? Or do you water it a little bit? Again, if the trust is really there and you know you solid in the way you carry yourself, I don't see the big secret. Unless you just don't want to expose them because it's their business. You know what I'm saying? But I think that could be worked out. So I don't think you should stress on that. Either side, you know. Just find something to do at the time. You know, any talents, anything, you know, when you was growing up as a kid that you thought you can be when you grow up. If you're not doing that, you can still do that on the side. And that could be a little pastime or whatever. Believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's very important because that's just good energy, good feedback. But there's nothing else I could really tell you if this is a problem as far as your securities lies. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't trust your partner, then this whole conversation is for nothing, because y'all gonna beef, or you're gonna beef about whatever moves are made. You gotta find something, because that itself will destroy the relationship, and then there's no need to even listen to this because you're by yourself. But I'm trying to help you not get to that point, because you have to be secure in your relationship regardless. It's your selection, or do y'all choose each other? But whoever made the first approach, the first move, you have to approach that with security. Now the person who gets approached, now if they the one that have a little insecurities, maybe they get a pass and you working it a little bit because you approach them. But I don't really want to make it seem like it could slide. You know what I'm saying? Because that be the problem. Like, okay, whoever initiated stuff, whoever's the initiator, should be the understanding one. Not necessarily. Y'all got to both come to an agreement. So just because I pursued you, whatever flaws you have, we could work on, or I could get past that. It's not like you get over, like, okay, I got these issues, but you came to me, so this is what it... No, you still want to work to be better. Because what are you going to say, ladies, if I'm the aggressor and I approach you with my issues that I have? So how that look? You look at me crazy, because to be aggressive, to be confident to even approach, you're supposed to have some type of shit in order mentally. You may have slight insecurities. Everybody has probably a snippet of it, you know, somewhere, some way. But you're supposed to be able to kind of tuck that if you're going to be the aggressor in your approach and you're confident. You feel what I'm saying? So scratch all that. Talk those things out immediately, if noted. And you probably can get somewhere positive. You know what I'm saying? So sorry to kind of run out of here on y'all. Again, I'm not at 100, but I'm COVID free. And I hope you are too. And I'm back on schedule. Follow me on Instagram, HOWUSTOPHIM. That's how you stop him. Also, my other YouTube channels, MR Hush 476. This YouTube channel, Voice of Reason NF. And Saucy and Hush on the Couch are all YouTube channels to check out. I hope everybody stays safe, stay well. We're in the cusp of winter, knee deep. I don't know if cusp was the right terminology, but dress warm. Put that extra layer on. It's brick. I pray for the lack of snowstorms. Seeing snow is only good to me really on Christmas. So Christmas is over. So I really don't need to see no snow. But I can't predict it. We just pray for less. Pray for safety, prosperity, success. Reach your goals. Stay patient. Stay diligent. And let's stop the violence unless our back is against the wall and we have no choice. By any means necessary, by Malcolm X, still had limits to it, I believe. So until the next time, I'm Mahala. Y'all be safe. 1.